It's been home to the Red Arrows for almost 20 years and employs hundreds of people, but there are concerns that the closure of RAF Scampton near Lincoln will leave behind a ghost town. It was announced, of course, in July that the site will shut and be sold off in 4 years' time. Jessica Lane's report looks at the potential impact of closing the station on the whole local area.
The building right here is the youth club now, and behind it was our coffee shop. And it's a huge asset to the community, and it's something we desperately don't want to lose. So over here is the heart of our community. It's the two shops. We've no public transport on a Sunday or night time, and very limited during the day. So those that can't drive, without those shops and that, we would be basically trapped on the place.
People queued for weeks in 2002 to get hold of a home sold off at RAF Scampton for a deposit of just £99. And since then, the MOD and civilians have lived side by side. But now residents say they're worried about what might happen in the future.
We don't want another disastrous decommissioning like's happened in the rest of West Lindsey. My concern is they just pull out and just leave us with nothing. So we lose all our facilities, we lose everything, we lose the community, basically.
There's a lot of people that aren't military around here as well that use the facilities, so I can't see them shutting everything with the school and the nurseries.
We moved here because of the facilities really for the children. Everything's here that the family needs, the shop if we went out of something. My main concern is what would happen with the base once it is closed down.
One idea is that a residents group could run the shops as not-for-profit businesses, and the hangars, which are listed by Historic England, could be open to the public. The existing Dam Busters collection remaining in Hangar 1 and the Firefighting Museum returned to the base in Hangar 2. The Ministry of Defence moved out of Hemswell Cliff 10 years ago, and some here warn people in Scampton to make sure they're not left with a legacy of problems.
It needs to be monitored really carefully that it's done well, and monitor who these pieces of land or buildings are being sold to and what are their plans with them.
One issue is potential contamination. Last year, authorities removed soil containing mustard gas from the former RAF Woodall Spa. I've seen documents which suggest that chemical weapons were routinely disposed of at RAF stations during and after the war. Nobody can say exactly where, but it could mean problems for people wanting to develop the site here. On that, the Ministry of Defence told me it takes its environmental responsibilities seriously and will clean up any defence-specific contaminants. Councils and residents are hoping to meet the MOD later this month to discuss all of these issues before the RAF leave for good in 2022. Jessica Lane, BBC Look North at RAF Scampton.
We are looking at the future of the Red Space and Scampton. And the Red Arrows pilot, injured in a crash earlier this year, is recuperating well and working with the team again. The squadron leader says it's been an emotional year for the Reds as they helped mark the centenary of the RAF and learnt that their home base in Lincolnshire is to close. Well, Sarah Walton caught up with the team as they finished their display season in Monaco.
The Red Arrows' 54th display season will be remembered for long to come, leading the celebrations of the RAF's 100th anniversary.
The highlight for me was flying down the Mall with 100 odd other aeroplanes. That was particularly special. I mean, that is a once in a generation occasion, I think.
And for the team's newest member, it was one he got to share.
All the family were out there. They were all in the park actually. They were all in Hyde Park watching it. So they got to see it in the flesh, which was great.
But it was a season that started with tragedy. A crash during training killed much-loved engineer Corporal Jonathan Bayliss. He's been remembered at displays through the summer with a special manoeuvre called Circus, named for the team of engineers that travel with the Reds. But the pilot that was injured in that crash, Flight Lieutenant David Stark, has now returned to work.
Yeah, Dave Stark, he's been back in the office. He is recuperating amazingly well, and it's really good for the guys to see him on the squadron. So he is still well within the Red Arrows family, and whilst he's not flying at the moment, he is helping out with most of the planning for our season this year, and has been a real asset.
But more was to follow with the news the Red Arrows base in Lincolnshire will shut in 2022.
Yeah, we were as shocked as anyone to hear the announcement that Scampton was closing, and it has been the home of the Red Arrows for such a long time now. What we need to look at is our operating procedures and how we can transpose that to a new base.
The busy summer came to a close in Monaco. And for 4 Reds, it was their very last performance as they leave the team.
I'm done! I know. It's happy and sad at the same time, you know. It's amazing memories to look back on.
But Mike's looking forward to a change of career.
Had an amazing time in the military, so I'm probably going to be looking to leave, continue to fly, so you never know, if you're on holiday you might hear me holler from up front, a mixture of emotions, but I'll look back with very fondness.
Preparations for next season have already begun, with the new pilots due to be announced in the coming weeks. Sarah Walton, BBC Look North.
Thank you, Sarah. And last night, of course, she was looking at how the Red Arrows promote British business around the globe. And some of you comments and thoughts after the programme last night, just a couple of them. Bill believes the best way that the Red Arrows can secure their future is to show how valuable they are by promoting UK business overseas, including the legal arms sales that secure thousands of jobs. And Wayne says that they have always been used as a way of advertising the British armed forces around the world. If we didn't supply arms to other countries, they would simply buy from another supplier. Thank you very much indeed for all of those.